What's up, y'all? We live right back here at the Porter Studios of Houston. Man, we're putting it down. I got a very, very special guest today. Got the infamous Tex right here, man. Hustletown Self is the man himself. You already know what to do. What to do, Tex?
Man, what it do, man? Showtime, man. Hey, I'm honored to be here, sitting with you right here.
Appreciate you. I'm honored to be here too, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, man. You know, a lot of people don't know as far as just my history in general, man. I'm a Houston archivist, right?
Yeah.
I'm like you, right? But we got people like us that are usually the most Houston people in the room, right?
Yeah,
That's what we do. We really represent our culture very well. And a lot of what I do stems from a lot of stuff that you guys did. You know, the Screw, you know, everybody, just everybody in the city coming together. But you know, you were one of my very first DVDs I got to actually watch of the Houston culture stuff. So you was putting on since putting on was putting on.
Yeah.
And
before
you know,
the internet.
Before the internet too. Yeah, you had to actually go out there, go to the malls, go to the flea market, try to get the stuff. And you collected everything very well.
Yeah.
So you like myself, that's kind of like we just kind of got a lot of the same.
Yeah, we kind of behind the scenes on a lot of stuff that people don't be knowing about, but you know, we one of the mechanics behind it to make the wheels turn, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So, you know, that's very important too, you know what I'm saying? Everybody got a different position to play. Everybody can't be the quarterback. Everybody can't be the wide receiver. Everybody can't be the running back. You know what I'm saying? So different positions for everybody. But let's take it back a little bit, man. When you first started in music, what got you into music?
Man, actually, one of the first people that I actually got to connect with that made me want to keep doing stuff like this was Agony Life, actually.
Agony Life?
Agony Life, man. I'm from the north side. I went to school out in the northwest side. At the time I went to school was in the very early 2000s. So, you know, we had, north side was the Swisher House and all that was going on. All the Acres homes right in that area, too. I was out there in Jersey Village.
Yeah.
And, you know, that was at the time that, you know, Paul Wall, Millionaire, Slim, everybody was just starting to kind of come up. And
we had a store right there on Good Bank and Antoine, Selective Sound.
Selective Sound.
Yeah, you know
I was one of them. I was one of the customers there, man. I was there. I would hear them talking about it on the mixtapes and stuff. So that I'd pop up and kind of start doing my research. Then I started going out to the South Side, Active Athlete, and then hearing all the stuff that they was talking about on these records. You know, but I was rapping. Like I was starting to rap. I was basically starting to rap, and what made me start doing music was seeing, you know, the Swisher House CDs and the way they were like put together. You could tell some stuff that was made at home down there. It was pressed, and I was like, you know, I started to kind of put two and two together. And at the time, Napster was starting to become a thing where you can get your beats. Right? And so I actually started, to be honest, a lot of people don't know the story, but I started kind of as the beat man. That's what they knew me as, the beat man. And I started giving beats to Agony Life, 50-50. Lil C was one of the very first people too. Remember Lil C, the Get Money Pro? If you go back to look at his old albums from 20-something years ago, you'll see me on there as co-executive producer on all his stuff because...
That was your name then?
No, Lil C was the artist, but I don't even know if I was Tex back then. Yeah, it was just Tex. Just Tex, Lil Tex. You know what I'm saying? It became my official rap name, but I think it was just Tex. Everyone just called me Tex in high school. And as far as that name too, I kind of gave myself that name. I was very Houston and Texas oriented, so I wanted something that's gonna represent me. And you know, Texas, and I just went with Tex, and it kind of stuck with me. But I was mainly the beat plug at the time because a lot of the artists that were, you know, Swisher House and the guys out there in the golf bang and all that were doing their thing, you know, they didn't really have the plugs or nowhere to get all them beats that, you know, eventually some of those beats ended up on Swisher House mixtapes and 50-50 and all that stuff too. Agony Life. So a lot of those beats came from my computer at the time, and I was I wasn't really the sports guy. I was more the guy on the computer, and I was that guy. And so, you know, I had all the beats, and I figured out how to loop the beats back then. You know, now we know how to loop the beats, a very common thing, but back then, people didn't know how to get the beats they wanted. So, you know, back then, they on the records, they used to leave the beats playing for about a good 30, 40 seconds. So I'd be able to chop them up, and then I'd take requests down on what beats they want to freestyle to. And before you know it, you know, all right, boom, I get whatever beats I can, I reconstruct them. And then now they were on Swisher House and Agony Life and all these Slab Soldiers and all them tapes back then. So that was kind of my first introduction into the Houston music culture. And then of course I started doing music too. I started SOT Records, which is straight out of Texas. It was actually 713 spelled out at first. SOT. And then eventually became Straight Out Texas Records. But I could ramble all day long. But that's basically the beginning. That it's not very told very often. So
that's why you're here, so you tell your own story. You know what I'm saying?
That's right. And of course, listening and watching some of your DVDs too, though. I ain't gonna lie, like a lot of the stuff, I was just very You know, I used to watch Street Flavor and record them, record the on VHS and record all that stuff. Like I was just that guy.
Man, you just brought me back when you said VHS. It ain't too many people that can say this, but I sold so many VHSs.
Yeah, yeah, bro. I had them all. I had yours on VHS. Actually, it wasn't even DVD. It was VHS. I had the Game 101 magazine ones, and I collected all that stuff, bro. I was into that. I was just really into the Houston culture in general. I was one of those folks, because I was young too, so I knew about Swishahouse before I had actually did my history on to the Screwed Up Click.
Oh, okay.
So because I was from that area, and it was all just starting to jump off. And being in high school at that time, when Slim and the Chameleonaire and everyone started to come up, then is when I really started kind of digging in more into it. Was when I started finding out more about who DJ Screw was, and SUC, and get going down that whole rabbit hole right there was a whole nother thing. But I mean, it led me to kind of what I'm doing now. At the end of the day, it was a passion that we have, right? To this day, you got your shop, you created. Look where it's just grown, transformed, and grown with the generations.
Yeah.
Now, and to those who don't know, I mean, there's few people that are like you and myself that we're gonna always be here because of what we do, right? Because we both do music, but at the same time, we're also doing a lot of the background work that keeps our names out here for years to come.
For sure.
So man, again, salute, man, to everything you do.
A lot of new cats getting to know who we are. Like the different generations get to know who we are. You know what I'm saying? By having this, it's like a whole bunch of young cats. I see them in here. They come in the boom, boom, boom. They 13, 14. Then I probably see them at the mall or something. Hey, Showtime, what's up?
Yeah.
It's like a whole different generation get to know who you are. You know what I'm saying? But back then, like around the time you was talking about, when we had Select the Sound over there, we had the studio in the back. That's where a lot of Swishahouse artists first started. When I got J-Dog back there, 50 Twin, Lil Yo, everybody. When you walk in the Select the Sound, you see the Swishahouse, and then you see Showtime. Real big on the wall, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we was focused on, at the time. And I was focused on hitting the road while Gene was focused on selling everything out of that particular door. That was the headquarters.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, you might run into one of these artists while they're there.
Oh,
you know what I mean? All the time. It was one of these, like going to the Johnny Dang store, might see a celebrity type of thing. That's what it was over here in the Northwest. It was what, Antoine, or was
Antoine Gutbank. Antoine Gutbank was the first one, where the first one was at. You know what I'm saying? Then it moved down there close to 249 and Antoine. Okay. But right there at Gutbank and Antoine, that's where all of them stayed at. You know what I'm saying? That's the same street Fofo, the Bricks on. So you had Mario and J down there. They used to just hang outside in front of the studio when they ain't had shit to do. You know what I'm saying? Because that was their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying?
And here's another thing, too. I'm from the same neighborhood. I'm from Antoine and DeSoto. That's where I was born and raised out there.
A little bit.
I was right there. Candlelight Trails. My apartments are gone. They tore them down, really, because they probably needed to get tear down because they were really, really bad. But they didn't put nothing else there either. So it's just literally like a whole remnants of what
memories
used to
gone.
Be. Yeah, it's like the ruins. Just fucking. You just see the sidewalks all cracked up and what it was at one time. But that was originally, I guess Acres Home, the Inwood Elementary. I was out there right there with them boys, and then of course went to school, and it just went on from there. And then now I eventually I got drafted to the South Side. I got to stay drafted because it was like more like, bro, you gonna come out here, you gonna be with us for now.
Yeah.
Because I was living out here for the South Side. Done, when I was doing this Hustle Town Network. I did a lot for, the Dope House. Then I started doing a lot more for Screw.
Yeah.
All the stuff I've done for Screw so far. The virtual performances, a lot of his even his last
congratulations on that too.
Yeah, man.
And it looked real good. You know what I'm saying? Like I got the DVD at the house. I got to rip my part out for that and put it on my Instagram.
We had so many performances on there too. It became like, it was basically like a 4-disc DVD by the time it was done with all the content we had. We had shot so much in such a short amount of time. And then I had got COVID like the day we were done shooting.
Yeah.
Boom, I ended up with COVID. So now for 2-3 weeks, I'm at home trying to edit all this stuff with COVID, feeling like shit. And on a time crunch. And man, but it was a testimonial to what I could do and what was later to come. But I feel like I've done more for the South Side at this point, and for the screwed up click and all that stuff, than a lot of stuff I've done. I still work with the North Side and all that, a lot of stuff. I still work with all the North Side artists.
Yeah, I got a lot of North Side artists coming next week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
More people that didn't know me back then that just know me now would think that Texas probably a South Side, because of all the South Side affiliation stuff. And like that's why I say it was more like they damn near, hey, put me out there. you drafted on this side, bro. You go hard. We need you on the south side.
Yeah.
So man, you know, it's all love though, man. I appreciate all love, everybody, all the support. You know, the people I grew up that were legendary, even street military, being able to work with all these people and have them, you know, talk to them on the phone like nothing. And it's just like, it's crazy. Even like I said, just sitting here with you, being here, you know, with Agony Life or getting any type of awards with, you know, the Birthday Wedding Cake Foundation, seeing Mr. Rodney Glenn and all the people that were all these, the glue of the city.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, it's dope, man. So, you know, we got
but
so
see,
much.
we connect the game right now, south side and north side, you know what I'm saying? Together right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's nothing but love, man. So we gonna ping pong back and forth all over the city because it's an H-Town thing, you know what I'm saying?
For sure, man. H-Town, Hustle Town. You know how we do, man.
What you got coming up like in the future? What's planned on the agenda for Tex next?
So 2025.
Like that, Tex next.
Man, hey, what's next with Tex, man? I'm trying to tell her, man. Look,
that sounds like a TV show. What's next with Tex?
Come on, man. Hey, I like that. You know what? That might have to be the hashtag or something right there. Yeah. So I do got a couple of shows that I'm gonna be doing too. You know, Hustle Town is mainly the foundation of it's a lot of music stuff. You know, we put on a lot of local artists. You know, one of the biggest ones coming out of Hustle Town was that Mexican OT. Which we got to talk about that story here a little bit. Shout out to Mexican OT because he definitely, man, he changed our life right there. Him blowing up, and he's just been a huge testimonial to you know what can be done and the artists that can come out of Hustle Town and stuff like that. But 2025, I plan on doing majority of my attention is going to go now to movies. Yeah. Which is kind of why I got started with Hustle Town. 2015, 2016, I was doing a lot of films. Shout out to Juan C. Vasquez. He just got an award recently at the Birthday Wedding Cake.
Movie
He's always doing stuff. Shout out to Miss Clemmy as well.
Yeah, the movie awards.
The film award that they just did, he received one here recently. He was one of my mentors that kind of got me into the films. And, you know, I did all the soundtrack. It kind of just started with that first, was doing films, you know, being on Amazon Prime, you know, the tube, all that stuff like that. But being the guy who was the main plug as far as getting a lot of casting and a lot of soundtrack artists. Remember, I dealt with a lot of artists as it is. Yeah, so I transitioned from being a musician myself, having my label and all my people that I associated with, to now doing films and casting and like, all right, well, we're gonna put you on as cameos. It don't matter what. It's just everyone's. Of course, they're gonna say, yeah, it's Houston, right? Yeah. Like, you know, a lot of film stuff has came down to Houston because, for one, it's cheaper to shoot out here. Two, a lot of us never been in film, so most of us gonna be like, fuck yeah, with or without a check, we gonna let's be up in that motherfucker. And so it was a way for me to be able to put people on and bring them into the film. So now I stepped away from that for a while when we started Hustle Town Network, and it's just been more about our affiliation with the stations. You know, 97.9 The Box. Mainly the hip hop stations that we work with. But shout out to them, which is a completely separate entity from what Hustle Town does. But now, yeah, I'm gonna be coming back into now going into full films, filming, directing, producing, acting, and then bringing a lot of people on now. Now that we have a bigger boat, we have a bigger attention, we have all the spotlight. Now I can get some bigger artists. You know, Showtime, get all the cameos, all my people in there. My boy, shout out to my boy Sam, my boy Prophet, everybody over here too. You know, I'm gonna be bringing a lot of them into the film stuff. So that's one thing. Full-length feature films too, not short films, not any of that stuff. I mean, like full-length films we want to do. And then another thing too is,
let me know. You know I'm a writer, huh? I got probably at least about 16 movies already written.
There you go, right there. See? And if y'all got, just like that, like what he just said, hey, people who got ideas, stuff, y'all come holler at us, man, because we can all make some stuff happen. Between what we have right here in this building alone is a powerhouse enough to make the stuff happen, right? We got wonderful videographers and talented cinema, you know, they have the eye, people that have the creation. I mean, really, it's a lot easier than we think to create big projects that you only got to do one time in your life, and it's now for the rest of your life. You're still gonna bank off it. Everyone's gonna eat whatever splits and all that. You know how it goes now. So that's that idea, and then stand-up comedy. You know, I did my first recently. Just did my first, you know, stand-up comedy. ESG was one of the first people that did one that we did last year with the Hustle Town Music Festival. We had a comedy show in there, you know, and that kind of got me thinking, well, shit, as many stories as I have dealing with artists in general and shit like that, you know, I got some funny stories. So, you know, music related, hip hop, going into comedy, but also creating kind of a series and bringing up and coming influencers, comedians that kind of like our version of, you know, Comic View or, you know, something like that, right? Kind of Russell Simmons, that stuff. I might just host them between here and there, but bring on artists, but fully produce new shows.
Set the platform
and
for
then,
them to
Oh
you
yeah,
know, to work on.
Shoot them in series, maybe do them, 3 months at a time, every week, and then boom, stop, and then create that as one season, boom, and kind of put those on the streaming platforms. And then the next thing, also boxing.
Boxing.
Oh yeah, and I'm training myself too, but not. I'm kind of, I'm old. I'm trying to find the next up and coming boxers as well too. And I just recently started working with a couple of people that already have multi-million-dollar promotions. Shout out to my boy Anthony Sanchez and the wonderful people he's working with as well too, who will bring me in. So this is stuff that's coming up that I can't really release too many details on yet, but I do want to become the face or someone who's endorsing boxing, getting into that field as well.
I got some people for you. I'm gonna hook you up with them. I used to be a boxer. You know what I'm saying? Since the 5th grade all the way to 11th grade. Just knocked people out so many times. It's so easy that I quit.
Why not become pro at it, right?
But I didn't know how much. I just like to do it. You know, my daddy started me out doing it. You know, that's what he wanted me to do. But after it just got so simple. Every weekend we just go knock somebody out and come back. I never knew how much a boxer made until after I quit, like years after I quit. Yeah, Third Ward Billy. He grew up with me. We was boxing too. He kept going. He was doing it.
Yeah.
So once I found out how much they was making, I'm like, oh man, I tripped out because I was real good at it. I was better than Billy.
Yeah.
I went back to try to get in the ring with him, and we boxing with him. Man, them gloves start feeling like 100 pounds picking about niggas. And I know what he trying to do. He trying to work me out like Farmer. He trying to wait till I get tired so he can start wearing my ass out. I'm like, let me get my ass up out of here.
The strategy behind it, I've been going to a lot of boxing events. I just recently came out with another boxer here recently. Just to me, it's just the whole, my Vince McMahon senses go off, right? That's all my stuff that we usually create. I kind of think in what's going to be the most spectacle of the type of thing. That's what we're into. So it really got my attention. I'm like, okay, so I think boxing is going to be the next thing we want to do. Now, of course, we're still going to be having avenues for the local artists, the underground artists, but I do have my other promoters, people that already got, they're doing the monthly and the weekly contests, stuff like. So we're keeping that going. So all artists that do want to still tap in with Hustletown, tap in with Hustletown. All you gotta do is go down to the Hustletown Net Instagram, go down there. Any flyers y'all see, go follow directions. Whoever it says hit up for that particular thing, hit them up, because if not, you'll miss the boat if you go directly into my DM on those particular things. So shout out to my boy Carlos Carleon, my boy Eduardo, aka Fam, Queen Casare, Poppin' 808, everybody that is my current, promoters right now that are putting on for Hustletown. And then we also still offer distribution through Hustletown Digital, which is a partnership I have with GT Digital, Gold Toes. So we have that avenue as well for artists that want to distribute their music through it. So the business is still rolling all 2025.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'm just
different platforms, man. Different platforms, different avenues, man. This is one of them.
Man,
the portal.
Tell them.
You know what I'm saying? We're looking for all new artists. We're looking for the next one, the next 2 or 3. You know what I'm saying? This the platform. You got to go through the portal right here in order to end up at the big studio.
Yeah.
If you can't make it through here, you'll never get to the other side. You know what I'm saying? So this like to find the diamonds in the rough. You know what I'm saying? Like on Fridays, we let everybody freestyle for free.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? 10 minutes for free to get in there to do what you got to do. We looking for you. We looking for you. We recording everything on the cameras and we playing it back on the Roku TV.
Man.
Go on Roku and download Dollar TV, DILA network, and then you look for Portal TV, and then you'll find everything we've been recording in here since we opened. Now, these podcasts, you go just follow us on YouTube on that, because all the podcasts is on the YouTube, so follow us at the Portal Studio on YouTube, you know what I'm saying? But we building different platforms, like the platforms you have, the platforms that, we also, this summer, got a basketball league going at Club Taylor's. So we doing it hood to hood, no celebrities. We did the celebrities already. We finna make these young cats that out of Trinity Garden, little Wayne who crossing boys up that nobody know about. You gonna know about them this summer, and we bringing them boys up in the light, in the forefront, to let everybody outside of Houston, everybody know we got these diamonds in the rough. These boys are ball handlers. They can hoop. And we get a chance to be on film. We doing live concert at halftime. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a bunch of betting going on. So y'all get ready for that, man.
Multiple avenues of content right there. I like it already right there. And I like what you said right there. So you got to get to the portal. This is the portal. This the portal right here.
Gateway.
This is the gateway. I like it, though, the portal. that gets you to that next destination right there. So
Yes, sir.
y'all come tap in if you haven't tapped in already, man. Again, real quick, I'm over here like I'm doing the damn interview. Tell them where to go. Tell them where they need to go lock in if they need to tap in with the portal,
lock
man.
in with the portal, man. It's the portal on everything. The Portal Studio, man. Subscribe on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that. And look, we playing these cameras. I'm doing the same thing you do. Here go the main camera right here.
Oh shit!
I'm
Okay,
playing,
yeah.
I'm playing this one. I'm like, but it's all good though. But you know, what else I wanted to ask you?
Man,
how you get plugged in with 97.9 The Box? How that happen?
Oh man, so let me see, how did it originally start? So really it was through Jessica Jeans. I gotta shout out Jessica Jeans. She's been with 97.9 The Box for a long time. She's been in radio for a long time. 98.5 The B out in San Antonio.
Yeah.
You know, and then I met her when she got out here. She was on Boom 92. When we had Boom 92 for a while.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jessica Jeans and Rob G the General too, you know.
Shout out to Rob.
I got tapped in with Jessica. I forgot how we got actually tapped in. Basically social media.
Yeah, for sure.
And we so I wanted to help her out with her, because at the time, you know, all the podcasts were starting to come out.
Blow herself up.
Yeah, this was around 2017 when like the basically I think one of the main things the station wanted to do was to have all the jocks have their like an outside interest that they do.
Yeah.
So like Kiati had the On the Radar thing he was doing where he's finding local talent. Jessica wanted to do something, you know, Hustle Town Network. It was gonna be kind of, it started as a Latino thing at first. But it grew out quicker than that within the first week or so. It was like, okay, this can't just be a Latino thing because it's just not going to work like that.
Too many people want to be involved.
I mean, yeah, because then everybody, because it was more of a Houston thing, more of a, the goal was to kind of bring it back to the house party days. Remember that 1007 house party, 104.9 house party? It was radio, but it was kind of ran by Latins. And so you had like a lot of the Lil Bings and SPMs and everybody being featured also on there. And we hadn't had that in so long, right? After those stations went away, it was just Swish House. Because I remember at one time we had Swish House and the Chopaholics.
Yeah.
And everybody competing at the same time. You had the Mexicans doing their thing, and you know, Lucky and Chingo Bling and all these guys over here, GT Garza and all them coming out. Then you had Swish House on this side too. And so for a while, there was just a very void in Houston, almost about 10 years. Like after the 2005, 2007 days kind of went out, for those 10 years flat up until the podcasting time, it wasn't even just a lack of Latins being on radio. It was a lack of the local scene being even on radio.
Yeah, for sure,
right?
Yeah.
And things changed up too around 2006 or so. That's when a lot of the... radio just completely changed around. It wasn't like it used to be to where you can, you know, submit your music to DJs, all that, them days had been gone. We didn't know that. And we were rapping, we're over here thinking they just hating and not wanting to play our music.
They got to play what they written down to play.
Yeah, exactly. There was rules to it, and there was, you know, everything's all kind of more programming now, and you know, everything's $1 at this point. And not just saying it, but that's just the truth. You know,
it is.
They have the relationships with the labels and everything else. And at the end of the day, they can't just play whatever they want because there's commercials that need to run. There's certain songs that need to run, or there can be actual critical, you know, lawsuits and stuff behind it. So it's not that they don't want to play, you know. So this stuff I learned along the way, but we wanted to create at least a platform to where we can now have under the box umbrella that can be kind of like, and it was going to be more of a kind of like a vlog thing on the internet, really. It was just going to be a web or YouTube vlog that we put on the box website, which was kind of like a weekly spotlighting certain artists, right? And you know, it started off just kind of, it was just a local thing, it was just a Latin thing, but then all the Latins started fighting with each other, arguing over, well, why him and not me? And then I widened it up, made it even bigger, then we started bringing on, you know, the Flips and everybody else too that was here in the local scene too, that were still doing music. And what really took it off was, because this was 2017 when we started, it was actually 420 is our anniversary. 420 of 2017 is when we started it, but then Harvey came around late 2017 and shut everything down, everybody down. Everything was, but we did still have internet and stuff like that. And at the time, we went to go stay at 97.9 The Box because, you know, Jessica had to be, we ended up getting married pretty much, me and Jessica. So we really became a power couple. And so at the time, we went to go stay at 97.9 The Box because she needs to be there on the air. You know, that's the most critical thing. They're looking for TV. If they don't got TV, they're going to go to radio and try to find out their information. So at the time, I started creating video mixes. And you know, at the time, you know, we were having DJs going live all the time, and but then they would get shut down, and their video would get blocked because of the copyright shit.
Yeah.
This is how we started all learning how copyrights, and everybody started kind of figuring how what you can and can't do. Well, I was doing video mixes and producing them and putting them, running them on, and and I had learned the trick. The trick was actually you can't. Once it's over with and you can't hit submit, you gotta pretty much just delete it. So they gotta watch it live and then you gotta delete it and you're cool. You won't get a copyright claim. I had kind of figured it all out. But we're doing all the H-Town video mixes. And man, our page grew following wise from like a couple hundred followers all the way to, you know, 5, 6, 7,000 people that we grew within a week of people not having, you know, signal and service and power or whatnot. And we're cheering everybody up because they're hearing, you know, Big Mo Man, they're hearing the Purple Stuff, Want to Be a Baller, and all and seeing the videos, and it's just cheering everybody up. I'm seeing all the comments. I'm like, everyone, man, we needed this, this, you know, and that was kind of the birth of Hustletown, you know, and kind of where we started to go from there, you know, and it just was something like, all right, it's gonna be a Texas-based type of thing. I don't want to just say Houston, it's gonna be Texas, but at least, but that's our stamp for sure, right? And the station started realizing that, seeing that too, and our quality, it got to a point where our quality was, on our social media side, the quality was better than the stations, right? Because we had, you know, our promotions team there at the time, but I wasn't on board with the station yet. I was just married to Jessica, who was on the air.
For sure.
But her husband's kicking our ass over there, pretty much, type of thing on the social wise. And so the opportunity came up to where it was like, hey, we got an opening, you know, in the promotions. You know, you do good on the video stuff, the recaps. I was doing recaps for the station before they were even, before I was even working with them. But I was just showing love because of Jessica.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, the opportunity came up in 2019, so 2 years later. But for over 2.5 something years, I was already putting on for the box. I was walking around. I mean, I was at all their events and just kind of, you know, showing love and being there. And so it showed my heart and all that, you know. So they gave me an opportunity, and man, from there, 2019 till now, it's been. I mean, I literally changed the station around as far as their content. I will say that the content, we stepped our content game up. I put a whole new bar to what the content is. You know, at the time, there were other stations, the radio morning shows that were kicking the ass, you know, because they had the visuals, right? You go to YouTube, you can see them interviews with all the people, and they were killing them, you know, on that, and they didn't have that. I gotta say, shout out to Matt Hatter though, because Matt Hatter morning show.
Shout out to Matt Hatter.
Yeah, man, I mean, he paid out of his own pocket at the time. He was getting his own content produced. That the station
see, we need another show like that. You know how Matt Hatter had the what was the name of that little show he had at the time?
Well, he had Straight from the Streets.
That's what I'm talking about.
And that was back in the day. And you know what's crazy is I used to watch those videos too. Those were DVDs I used to get.
No, I'm talking about before it went to DVDs and
it was on
TV. It was on radio. It was just. Oh no! Was it Straight from the Streets?
Well, Straight from the Streets was the series that he put out. I think he put CDs and he put. Everything was called Straight from the Streets, branded that same name. But he also did have stuff where he did locally on the radio too.
That was Straight from the Street first, and then
it became a video series and volume 1 and DVDs and CDs.
Because I remember at first everybody used to send their music again, and one of them days he'd play it, and then get everybody to vote on it, you know what I mean? Like Rush It or Flush It. They back in the days before then, there was another one called Rush It. Yes, you know what I'm saying?
Man.
That break a lot of people too, and let a lot of people, you know, that's trying to get in the industry get a little, you know.
And nowadays, because the radio is how it is, as far as, you know, everything's a certain way. It's kind of hard to have those segments like they used to. I mean, hell, I think the last time they did have stuff like that, I mean, it was probably an 11 o'clock hour late at night, and then it just finally you don't even see it no more, right?
Yeah.
I think we still have Watts and stuff that would be on the, you know, on the Sundays.
Sure.
Which, at least we still have that.
Yeah, Watts still got this shit going.
The platforms, it just grew out now other places to where it was no longer needed to have to be on the radio. You know, now like Hustletown and other platforms, you know, yourself, Rap Economics, everybody that's coming out, it grew now in the past less than 10 years so far. But I think Hustletown was one of the ones that really that got a lot of attention. And we need more than just Hustletown.
Yeah,
we need, and so we have a lot of other platforms, people that haven't been doing music maybe in a long time that are now coming back and getting their face seen again. And but they're doing it for the right reasons. They're like I love when people like myself and you who did music at one time can still do stuff like this and still bring on and put on for the new people, and
Yeah,
not just
for
have
sure.
to try to be all up and want to still,
Yeah.
man. Chill out, chill
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah.
Because they need people like us also,
Yeah.
and that's what's important. Is having all those platforms like that. So from there it grew, man. Since 2019 when I officially got on board with them. I mean, Hustle Town was already doing this
Yeah,
thing,
I'm
but
saying Hustle Town
it's grown.
everywhere.
It's
you know
grown.
what I'm saying? Everywhere I go. You know what I'm saying? And I know it first started with SPM. We used to grind in front of Rhythms, Club Rhythms on West Belford before he got locked up. Mean Green used to be out there all the time. That was when he first broke Dre, the Chronic album.
Yeah.
Was right there.
Man.
That night. They played it like 4 times on the radio back to back.
See, I wish I could have been around at that time. I was already, I mean, I was still probably elementary, all that. I mean, I wasn't even nowhere in the scene yet. I had to go back and
Don't
redig
make me feel old, man.
I had to go back and redig into my history because I didn't get into the game till, like I said, after Screw had already passed. I want to say is around the time I had 2000s, 99, 2000s when I started really getting my attention onto the Houston hip hop scene. SPM was one of the first ones that made me realize that because I heard of South Park Mexican, didn't know, I was just hearing the name at school, didn't even know it was a rapper. I was just hearing people say, you heard this thing. And then when I finally heard it and then realized he was some Mexican and he's saying these key words, Houston and certain things, I'm like, he was my first introduction really into Houston music, you know? And then, and so I became a huge fan of him. And actually, what's crazy is I got to meet him. I got to actually meet South Park Mexican. He came over to my house.
Yeah.
In 2001, I won't say it was 2001, right before he got locked. He got locked a couple months later. He actually had picked up a cousin of mine. He was dating at the time.
Okay.
That's all I'm gonna say at that time. But and I remember when she told me, oh, that's Carlos, when I was listening to his music.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's about to come pick me up right now. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah.
And and before you know, I had the whole block outside, all my partners, everybody from out there. I'm like, he's coming. Sure enough, he pulls up and he's all short. And, hey, what's up, fellas? And it's like, it's him, it's his voice, everything. I'm like, holy shit. And it's crazy too, because he was there for about 45 minutes talking to my mom and everybody, and we're just all kind of like starstruck. And then we got a picture with him with the disposables.
Yeah.
Man, I went to school the next day telling the area because you got to go and get the shit, the photos developed.
Yeah.
So man, I mean, like that next day, I'm like, wait, y'all watch, I got him. I'm telling all the Mexicans, everyone walking around. I'm like, man, I'm finna come bring the picture. I know SPM.
Yeah.
Man, when I went through it with the photo develop, it turned out my little niece had opened up the thing that that you're not supposed to get the exposure or whatever. So all the photos were just white. Blanked out. Oh man, it was. But I tell SPM that story. They all looked at me like I was a fucking liar, bro. But it really. But after meeting him in person, I was like, I want to rap. I want to do this shit. I remember writing my first couple of raps and stuff. And again, a lot of it was just getting beats off the Napster at the time. And I was actually. Now there's another thing too. I was actually the bootleg man at the time too, because before I did the beats, I was one of the only ones who had the CD burner at the time in school.
Yeah.
So I had everybody, I was getting the list down, I'll burn you, whatever, and I was one. And this is how I learned about the difference between DJ Screw and Swishahouse.
Yeah.
Was because somebody told me they wanted to want to be a baller Screwed one, and I just heard Screwed and Chopped and assumed it was all the same shit.
Yeah.
And I thought it was Swishahouse and whatever. Yeah. So I downloaded and I gave them the CD, and on the song, it was the Slim Thug freestyle on the Wanna Be a Baller beat. And I didn't even know the difference. I didn't even know it was a freestyle. I just heard the Wanna Be a Baller, it was slow, and I was like, okay, that's it. And I put it on there. And then the next day, the dude's like, no, he wants the Screwed one. And I'm like, he did the DJ Screw one. I'm like, I still didn't know what the hell he was talking about. And then I finally typed in DJ Screw, and the only ones that were popping up were the stuff from Big Time at the time, because those were the ones that were actually out in CDs and selling in Best Buy and all that stuff. And the first person I heard was Point Blank, and my mind goes blank.
Yeah.
And hearing that, and it changed the game. I ain't gonna lie. I love the North Side, I love the Swishahouse, but there's Screw tapes to this day. They I don't know how they lasted. They're legendary, bro. They're legendary. They definitely stood the test of time. They aged very well. Put it that way. You can still listen to a Screw tape and show a youngster Screw tape to this day. And it's something about it.
There's a million people buying it all over again and again and again, year after year, the same tapes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Before we forget, shout out to Rashid too. That's my boy.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Hey, now if you want to see anybody that ever was down with anybody before, that's the perfect match of loyalty right there. That he had to SPM and still have today. I never seen nobody down with a person so much as Rashid was down with SPM, period.
And you know what? Shout out to Rashid, because he was one of my very first, because I started shooting videos when I was doing the music, so around 20, well, I always shot my own videos from 2006 and up. I had I started like, and Big C's from Hater Proof is the one that kind of motivated me to do that, because I was seeing another Mexican now shooting his own videos, and I'm like, okay, well shit, I can do that too. And so we're doing all that, you know, the Little York and Slaps on the north side back in the day. I was out there with the camera, and figuring out how I can do the megabytes, and you get a higher memory card, and this is what you do. Okay, cool. So I was out there shooting my videos because I was doing music. Rashid was the very first artist that was a bigger artist that allowed me to shoot his video, which was, it's called Fuck Sleep. It was featuring him and Time. But I was rolling around with Rashid for a good amount of time, going to shooting his videos and stuff like that. So shout out to Rashid and his history. Boy. If you don't know Rashid's history, go do your history on Rashid as well too.
And Rashid coming real soon too. We already talked about it, chopped it up. So next time you come to Houston, he in here. So y'all just stay tuned.
To this day, man. So yeah, shout out to Rashid. He's still holding it down. But yeah, man, I want to say, I forgot where we're going from there. But it was, that's kind of the beginning order. There's so much to really go down, bro. But that's some of the beginning on there. Mexican OT.
Mexican OT.
Bro, Mexican OT. That's when I definitely I love telling stories about with OT and what happened with him and how we got down with OT. So my label, Straight Outta Texas, you know, so eventually, kind of like Hatter always had the Straight from the Streets. I always kind of branded a lot of my stuff that I did here in the city, you know, Straight Outta Texas stuff. So we started doing. First, I had a TV show that I was doing. It wasn't even TV. I say TV, but it was a show that I was putting out on YouTube. It was like a top 10 video countdown show. I had built the whole set. We did it over there at the Francisco Studios downtown. Built a dope ass set, called it Straight Outta Texas. Me and K-Dog, shout out to K-Dog, Caleb Johnson.
Really?
We were both hosting that show. And it was
Big Caleb?
Caleb, tall, skinny. No. He's still
I thought
here.
you were talking about Caleb. You be with Ron C all the time.
R.I.P. to him too, shit, man. You know,
for sure.
But Caleb Johnson, he's an actor. He's an influencer. He's a hell of an entrepreneur. You know, comedian, everything else. So me and him had teamed up. It was a black and brown thing too, right? So we were both hosting the show. It was, you know, we're putting on, you know, the Slim videos and up and coming guys. Well, at the end of all the shows, we had a performance, kind of like what was it, Yo MTV Raps, where you have the and at the end they got the credits showing, but they're still performing or whatever. It was kind of like that version. Really, a lot of the ideas I had with Hustle Town, they were all kind of my own version of other stuff we did, which Straight Outta Texas, the TV show, was like my version of Rap City, The Basement. Right? I'm like, we need one of those for Houston. So it was all Houston local artists. But then what I noticed became kind of the big thing, and it was right around the pandemic time too, was the virtual performance part of was kind of the main thing that people were wanting to hit me up like, hey, how can I get on there? Like, what's up? Da. So eventually we came up with a way, the contest. Right? You pay to get on, but of course, a lot of shows that, you know, the local shows that you will go to, you pay, you don't win, you walk away empty-handed. People don't like that very much, right? So you come on our show, you're gonna get your performance, right? A copy of it. We're gonna put it on our YouTube channel, and you're gonna be on the whole 3-hour-long virtual, you know, to see who's the winner at the end of the deal. And so we had started switching over from the videos of Straight Outta Texas to turning Straight Outta Texas into its own 3-hour whatever, where it's got 25, 30 contestants performing one song each too. And you know, they're coming in, they're pretty much getting a package of what they're gonna get, and then they're gonna be featured on the show. And if they win, they're gonna win, you know, music videos, they're gonna get interviews, they're gonna get all kinds of stuff that's gonna really take them to the next level. So we had started that series, and we did good, everything was popping off. The 5th one we did is the one that Mexican OT won. Okay, so he the first 4 were virtual, because it was all during the pandemic. It was all filmed within the 20 by 20 foot room with a stage, no crowd, and it's just a virtual, kind of like the mic. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of the mic drop stuff that we had that is big now, we kind of set a lot of the beginning foundation of it. Because I was always against the mic drop thing. I didn't really like it at first. So ours was actually them. They're holding the mic with the Hustle Town mic flag and they're rapping, and we're moving. The camera's moving around them, type of thing, right? And so eventually we started.
That's where I got them to come. Mic drop right here. Same thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it took off. Now this is the new thing too. The mic drops, the concept itself, which I want to say I won't say I was late to it, but I was always kind of just because people would want the mic hanging. They would ask me that, and I'm like, nah, we don't really do that. That's not. But that's been around for a while too, though. On other videos, you've seen music videos or Boys II Men, different
a lot of people
studio video performances.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to go that route, but eventually it became a new popular thing, anyways.
Yeah,
but the virtuals, it always kind of septed a little bit. It made it a little bit different from that. But yeah, so we did 4 of them virtual. By the 5th one is when things started opening back up, 2021 after the pandemic. So then that was the first one we did live, and it was. I mean, it was the best one right there. And like I said, Mexican OT, he ended up winning that one. I mean, and it was like there was some really good competition with him. I mean, we had other artists that are still up there, to this day, G Love, Lopez, different artists that are now you're starting to see their name, but they were already there too at the time too. Yeah. That are blowing up. But yeah. Mexican OT, he won that, and I mean the next day I had SPM calling me because SPM can see all of our content too.
Okay.
Because even though in prison, I mean he's so damn smart the way he runs his business. I mean he has his own channel where he's like, it's like a channel 50 something point something. The way they have those digital and all that. He had his own channel where they can just send him content to watch out here. Okay. So I mean he was watching the new Straight Out Texas. Boom, they put it on there. I get that call. Hey, you got this guy, man. OT, man, and put him on the phone, man. So I called OT right there, and OT was excited. This is something new. He's 20, maybe 20, 21.
Yeah.
And he's just tripping the fuck out, like, hey, man, for real? I said, yeah, I'm about to click you over right now. Get ready.
Yeah.
And man, he's like, man, first thing he told him, and the one thing I hear everybody tell me when I bring up OT, man, how do you roll them R's like that, bro? Yeah. Like, I don't understand. Like, that's the most Mexican shit I've ever.
Yeah.
Like, how do you? That's gonna be the biggest thing that makes you big. I'm telling you. Like,
that's the part I like about his shit. You know what I'm saying? How he rolling his words. Yeah, I used to do that a long time ago. I can't do that shit no more.
God damn.
But anyway, he hard with that shit though. You know what I'm saying?
I wish I could eat pussy with that motherfucker talking like, God damn. Shit, that motherfucker did that shit. Nah, I'm just playing. That's the inside joke. That's gonna be working on the comedy rep right there too. You know what I'm saying? But no, dead ass. So that was one of the main things that he had said, and they really kind of boosted up his energy. And then, we put him on the Day of Unity. SPM has a Day of Unity, so he was on the Day of Unity 2021.
Harrisburg?
It was the one over there at the Bayou City. Bayou City Event Center or something. The one right there, Alameda.
Yeah, I know you doing.
They had it in the big parking lot, 2 big stages, all that. SPM always fucking went all the way the fuck out all the damn time.
But the one that was road in Alameda.
It was right there. The other one though, I'm gonna be honest, the best Day of Unities that he ever did were the ones that I was somehow involved with on the planning side, which is 2019. The one over there at the Avenida, or no, not Avenida, the one at the Esplanade over on Navigation or something like that. Harrisburg. Yeah. And then the 2020, which was all virtual because he didn't have one because of the pandemic. So I did the whole virtual one first. And then that's the idea where we came up with, let's do one for Screw afterwards.
Okay.
So that virtual one's the one we did in the 2021. Which one
y'all did at the graffiti part?
That was Screw's that wasn't 2022. That was Screw's 51st birthday, or I think 52nd birthday.
Okay.
So it was just his birthday thing. But that was before he had the July 20th, his own day finally, which we had a big part of doing that and getting them into their first official, which was the one at the George R. Brown this past year. That one right there. So now it's official. That's another thing that kind of, I can say that, again, a lot of what we did went into that. Of course, got to shout out Bub, Big A, everybody, GS Customs, the car show people, but they allowed me to be part of that because I had already been doing so much when it came down. Anything that came down to Screw's birthday or Screw's anniversary, Tex was somehow involved in the past 4 or 5 years and on the production side. So, I mean, but yeah, 2019, 2020, and 2021 of the Day of Unity stuff for SPM, those were the best ones. Those were the ones that made the most money back, or if he did, because he'll spend a lot of money and then just use it as promotion. He ain't even worried about making the money back because he's still gonna put out an album that day or whatever. He's smart. But so from there, once OT got a hold of the SPM crowds, because this is the trick.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be a Latin rapper from Texas, you got to get a hold of his fans.
Yeah, for sure.
To get at least out of Texas. Then from there, wherever else you got to make the right moves, and it just kind of all worked within less than 12 months from him winning that contest with me. he was less than 12 months. He was already signed like a $3.5 million multi-million dollar record deal. And that was with Interscope, and that was with Gaffin Records. He got signed to Good Talk. Shout out to Greg Gates. That was his manager. That was originally, before I even knew OT. Greg Gates is the one who introduced me to OT. So Greg Gates is actually the original guy who discovered OT.
Okay.
And then he brought him to us, and we just kind of knew how to act fast and what to do, because we knew we were sitting on something pretty big.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and eventually he blew up. Him blowing up is just a testimonial to show how rare it is, but it can happen, right? We've had over 1,000 some people that have hit a Hustletown stage.
Yeah.
Everybody, black, brown, white, Asian, everybody you could think of. But for one so far, to have made it and made it to that level he did. I mean, he made it. He triple, quadruple times SPM streams, which nobody had done that in over 20 fucking years while the guy's been in prison at that.
Yeah, for sure.
As a Mexican rapper.
Yeah.
You know, but this guy like way blew that off the market. And another person too, of course, that's up there like that, you know, D-Baby, you know, them guys as well too. You know, Peso and all them. So I mean, the Mexicans kind of
give you a jewel to put in this ear that's going.
Yeah. Come on.
California.
Yeah.
He captured that whole it's around the California.
So that's so once he got the SPM fans, that's what really got him out to Cali, got him out to New Mexico, all that area, because you know his fans, he's got a whole regional fan base for sure. You know, maybe I'm sure they jam SPM too in New York and all that, but he definitely had all the Midwest. He had all the
West
California.
Coast,
That's what got him to California, and then from there. It you know, then he got into the right eyes, you know, with Johnny Shipes. He got a hold of get the right people that signed him and discovered him, invested him, and put money back into him. But you have to. This is like a rule. Especially if you're a Latin rapper, I know the formula for that. You got to get a hold of his fans, SPM's fans, because he still has the biggest fan base out of Latins. You got to get his fans,
for sure,
on board, and that's what it took to work. And then from there. Since Mexican OT, you know, we've had another one, F&F Chapo. He was he's the second person to come from a Straight Outta Texas contest, which was SOT 10, that where he got signed to 1501 Entertainment, Carl Crawford and all that too. So he's the second person to get signed to another major label. And then, you know, from there, we've had a lot of artists too, all kinds, you know. I could go down the list, but I don't want to say some and not the other ones. But just know we've had a lot of artists that have came out of Hustletown. Grizzy from Hood News, if you know the Hood News.
Okay.
She's another one that originally started on the Straight Outta Texas show with us also. I saw her online. I'm like, man, she's going to be big.
Yeah.
We brought her in. She was on the Straight Outta Texas show when it was a music video countdown. The Hood News was kind of like a segment of the show.
Yeah.
And even she blew way past all of us. She did good. So shout out to Grizzy.
Shout out to Grizzy.
But yeah, we got a lot of artists that have, you know, a lot of talent that has came out from just, you know, it's just one of the things, it's vibes, bro. It's just, you know, if you got good vibes, you got good intentions, you know, when I was able to stop, because it's hard to stop rapping. You never really want to even completely stop doing that. But when you can sit there and understand the bigger picture and realize, look, let me be the one to help open the gates, that's when all the blessings happen, bro. Like when I was rapping for 15 fucking years, couldn't catch a break.
Yeah.
And the second I stopped doing music, and start saying, you know what, let me be the guy to open. But I got to completely commit to that. I can't sit here and be wanting to put all Hustletown and it's all my videos all up in the mix and all that. You can't do that either.
Nah.
You got to literally legit let it happen.
Yeah.
And man, God opened all for every 15 fucking years. I'm like, God damn. So this is not, I just need to, it's like self-sacrifice in a way, right? Yeah. And not to get so biblical about it, but you know, Jesus sacrificing himself almost.
Yeah.
It was like me sacrificing the Texas artist to say, okay, I'm gonna now just be the guy to help open doors, and I'm fine. I'm good now in life.
We're real similar in those ways. You know what I'm saying? Because it started out. That's why they changed my name to DJ H-Town, not because of stretching and none of this. It's just putting projects together.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Grab this beat. I may hear you on it. I may hear. You know, Slim on it and somebody else on it, and put that's one song till I create a whole album and stuff like. But throughout the mixtapes era, since way back, I done put out 36 mixtapes. So it's like I got groomed for this. So it's like, okay, well, let me leave that alone and come over here and help everybody get through the door, because that seemed like where I was good at anyway, because everybody I fucked with back then I already blew.
Yeah, we're the dot connectors.
You know what I'm saying?
We're the dot connectors. And I finally figured out, okay, that's a good term. The dot connectors. We're good at, some people are just those guys that are good at putting certain things together. Maybe you know, like me, you know, we're already at a certain age now to where it's like, all right, we understand the industry as far as we know that, like the industry right now, trying to get on the radio, it's a young man's sport right now, right? Even sports in general, by 31, 32, 3, they're already kind of almost in their retirement, right? Because it's a young when you're in your prime, and that's what the labels want too. A lot of artists will ask me certain secrets on how to get on the radio or how to get with a label. At the end of the day, it's like there's certain things that are all the good factors, like OT. Just go back to OT. You young, he's had all the demographics fucking with him, like the young kid. You gotta understand what's popping with the young kids these days nowadays. So I'd rather be the Jay Prince or the Gold Toes or those people those names, like even like Showtime. These are names that will continue to be around for a long time because we are the background dudes that maybe the fans might not even know what we look like. But if we're somebody to the artist, because the artists know that these are people that I need to fuck with, right? And that are going to be here. The names are going to still be here forever. With the music, and this is the truth, the music industry, it's a very 15 minutes of fame game.
Yeah, for sure.
Whoever's hot this year may not be hot next year. There's going to be eventually a new OT that's going to be the new big dog. And I don't see OT as being a hater either. I think he's going to be wanting to work with that guy.
Yeah,
right?
For sure.
And you just got to be able to be like that and accept it. But at the end of the day, the people like us who try to create the platforms, who try to bring up the people, for some reason, we'll continue to be able to live and thrive in this industry and get the blessings we need if we proceed with, with that motive. So,
and this is something that we choose to do. You know what I'm saying? Because we still could choose that, but I still got like 200,000 fans that'll buy my shit if I drop something.
Damn right.
I'm gonna drop like, on soundtracks for the movies, because that's what I'm finna be focused on is the movies and soundtracks,
intro
and
music
stuff like
and all
that.
Yeah,
mixtapes and product placement, stuff like that. But to everybody that's older, that's still rapping, you gotta look at it like this. You got the Maze, you got Isley Brothers, but see, guess what? The reason why they still in existence is the older that they get, they fans that was their age then, they the same age, so they getting older with them. And most of them don't like the new stuff, so they'll keep paying attention here. So really, you just have to build your own fan base and cater to your fan base. Because even if it's not large, just say if it's just 200,000, that's 200,000 times, just a CD $7. Hey.
Do the math. It's
coming from nowhere. I mean, it just,
And I will say that this too, that if we did put out, like if I just up and decide I'm gonna put out an album tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Motherfuckers would buy that shit, right? Let's another example, Kiati. Because Kiati has so much respect and he's known in the industry so much.
Yeah.
He could put out an album tomorrow and people can still fuck with it because they just know that Kiati already. They may not even remember that he did Hooka Hooka or not even. There's new generations now since H-Town for real. They may not even remember that was him on there. But just because it's him, they'll buy it.
They're gonna fuck with it, and then they're gonna go back. They're gonna go back. Let me see what else he got. Because after that go off, the old shit gonna pop up. They're gonna say, okay.
I feel like the generations are getting more and more quicker. Like 1 or 2 years, there's already another generation after that already. It's getting quicker than it was.
Because of the internet.
Yeah. So there's
you can see shit in California, New York, and Spain, all at real time.
It's too quick. There's new generations now. I mean, there's new kids now and it trips me out when I hear this. They'll be like, man, they'll even be like, man, OT, that's old already. I'm like, what? But it's the truth. The generations are just going so fucking faster now. And or I'm listening to someone that is, I thought, current music of today, and they're like, man, that's old already. What, you still jamming him? I'm like, you still wearing that? Like, goddamn, okay, well, so that it's kind of just really understanding how the generations roll, how fan bases roll, how and who to market to, and figuring out, okay, well, shit, what can I do right now at this time? Maybe rapping may not be the best thing, but you know what? Finding the next rapper. And that's something I do suggest to a lot of artists out there right now that have been doing it, that are my age, your age, anybody else that wants to still be in the music industry.
Find
a hot artist, bro.
Bring him up here to the portal.
And invest in him and don't try to be all featured on all his fucking songs either. That's one thing.
Not Suge,
Diddy all in the videos and all that. Because that's another thing too. That's artist beware. If you're young and you have a manager that is also an artist, you may want to reconsider that. Or just, because that can happen too. I see that happen a lot.
Yeah.
Where before you know it now, you have a really good artist, but they got this other artist that is lingering around on all their songs, and it's hindering that person's progression because it's almost two different two different audiences in a way. And it's like, that ain't gonna mix very well. So But yeah, smartest thing I could tell anybody right now that has knowledge and has been around the industry and knows a lot of stuff that we're talking about right now, because you were there at one time, bro. Find an artist and let's help get that artist out there, and it will make everybody money. And then learn your contracts, of course, too.
Yeah,
that way you can get some of that money too. I learned the hard way with OT, because I could have probably had a lot more money and did all kinds of stuff and had more involvement with OT at the time, but I didn't have my distribution stuff yet. But he's the reason why I now have, Hustletown Digital and partnered with GT Digital and Gold Toes, because now all the artists that do come to any Straight Outta Texas contest, which, here's another thing, Straight Outta Texas is going to be relaunching in 2025. So the last one we did was Straight Outta Texas 20. That was in 2023. I wanted to do away with it for a little bit, kind of bring it back like the McRib.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Let people miss it for a little bit. So, but we are going to be coming back with Straight Outta Texas 2021. I'm sorry,
25.
21 is the number. Straight Outta Texas 21 will be coming out in 2025. So that's going to be the next series is going to continue.
Okay.
So we'll be hyping that up. You'll be seeing the badass. When I put out the commercials and shit, it's going to be like a fucking movie trailer. Like it's coming back. You're going to see OT and all the fucking badass people that have hit the stage at one time. You'll see that commercial. I'm going to put a lot of money behind that commercial advertising, because we finna really come back hard. I forgot why I was going into that. But anyways, man, look, we're looking for the next big artist. That's what the goal is right now, man. So
we're looking for all new producers. We're looking for all new artists too at the portal. Come through the portal. See, can you make it through the other side? This is the gateway to get there. Anything else you want to let them know, man, before we get out of here?
Man, just don't blink in 2025. That's all I'm saying, right? We got the movies, we got the boxing, we got the comedy showcases, and of course, we still got the Straight Outta Texas returning, right? This is the official Straight Outta Texas, man.
Yeah.
The home that where OT came from, FNF Chapo, my boy, Generator Baby, RIP. We've had so much talent that's came out of this showcase. So just be ready. And don't be haters in 2025. Can we leave hating in 2024, please?
I'm saying, our haters, stay back there, man.
Please. And come check out the portal. Come tap in. Check out. I got a video up there, too, from a while back. I just randomly came in there and did a little freestyle. Hell, I might do another little something right now, too.
You gonna get another day?
In. I think so, man. We might have to go ahead and do that, too.
You feeling good? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You get in there?
I might as well, you know what I'm saying? As long as the beat is on point, we on with it, man. Come on.
Hey, man, you already know how it goes.
But that's exclusive. I want them to go tap in and actually go look in to watch that video here in a little bit. So we're not going to do that right now. That you're going to have to go watch and go tell them where they need to watch real quick.
Go to the portal, the YouTube, the portal. No, that's on Roku. Yeah, that's on Roku. Go to Roku, go to Dollar TV, D-I-L-A is how you spell Dollar TV Network, and look for the Portal TV, and you'll see text on there.
I promise.
Freestyling in the booth, man.
We about to do one right now, so I wanna say that as an exclusive for the portal right there. So y'all go in, tap in. Of course, y'all follow on the Instagram and the YouTube too. They got all that too.
YouTube, everything. The Portal Studio.
There it is right
Portal
there,
Studios of Houston, man. And hey, this is the first time, not the last time we running out of time, but next time we gonna update again, and we gonna take it from here and move forward and tell you what else we got coming in the future and what else next from Tex is going down. We're right here at the Portal Studios of Houston, man. We signing out. Yeah.
We out, baby.
Peace.